In the 90s, they put stores in dollars for tourists, and they forbid Cubans to use the dollars. Then they allowed Cubans all over again to use the dollars. Then they changed the dollars for the CUC. Now, during the pandemic, they changed the CUC for the dollars. We had to buy dollars. Then they forbid the dollar all over again, and now we have to use the euros. So, as you can see.
And you also have some kind of a virtual currency.
Yeah. The thing is that you need the heroes, so you can give them in the bank the heroes, so they give you the virtual currency, so you can buy on the stores.
Okay. I mean, it is a pretty complicated logic, but...
Yeah, absolutely crazy.
If they banned dollars now, then a lot of Cubans, I assume, have family working in the United States and they send them money. So are they allowed to use those dollars that are coming from the States?
The thing with the dollars is that you cannot turn the dollar into the virtual currency that you need to buy in stores.
Okay.
Right? But for example, if your family sends you money in dollars, you can still sell them in a very good price, you know, and buy the heroes.
Okay.
You know, because people is buying dollars so they can travel abroad. The exchange rate right now is the one that you can find on the streets.
Okay.
You know, like for example, $1 is 100 pesos.
Okay.
You know, the government says that it's 25, but in reality, you realize that it's not like that.
Now, why is it that it is profitable for the citizens to change the money with the rate that is not what the government says?
The thing is that the government says that is, for example, $1 is 25 pesos. That's when you sell them the dollars. But for example, if I need to go to the store, right, and I need heroes, so if I go to the bank and I tell them, well, I want to buy heroes with my Cuban pesos, with your official exchange rate, they will tell you no. They are not going to give you heroes. So that's the reason why the actual price of the heroes and dollars is so high in black market. And a very good tip about Cuba actually is that black market is almost official. Everything because we need that to buy food in stores and everything. In Cuba you own like a notebook, right? That's how we call it actually, notebook. And in that notebook you have like a certain amount of products that you can have in Cuban pesos, 2 kilos of rice and 1 bottle of oil, right? Something like that. What's the problem with that? That if you work, for example, for the government and your salary is in Cuban pesos, right? That's not enough to eat for an entire month. So you still have to find a way to buy the heroes, to go to the real store and buy the real food. You know?
Okay.
This is the things. Right, from January, February, and we have beans, granules is the rice, beans, oil, sugar. This is for children. Salt, some other things, I don't know, coffee, phosphorus too, like fire.
Okay.
That's what. It's a certain thing you can buy. You can also buy milk, meat in another special places.
Okay. Gracias. And is it for like even children have this book, this notebook, or when are you entitled to have your own?
It's one per family.
One per family.
You are born, you are in the notebook. For example, my family, my mom, my grandma, me, we are not only one notebook, but we are 3 notebooks.
Okay.
Also, special diabetic people have also special things. Children have a special things. Yeah.
So basically, you say this is very cheap to buy, but not always it is available.
Yeah, you have your special things one per month. It's not enough. I have 10 eggs by person per month.
10 eggs per person per month.
I don't know, 7 pounds of rice. like 3 kilos of rice per month. Yeah, like that. Things like that, you know, it's only a few amount of things.
So the bodegas, they differ in what they have, yeah?
What they have. There are the bodegas, and we have, how do you say, carne with the same milk.
Yeah, butcher.
So, for example, those places like markets, it's a mix, a combination between private and governmental.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay.
So you cannot use the notebook here, or you can?
No, it's you don't need the
Okay.
notebook in this place. So these kind of places, this belongs to the government. But for example, if you are a freelancer or you have a private business, you can rent a space to the government to sell your clothing here.
Okay.
Most of the people here, they go to Panama, they go to Mexico, buy things, and they always sell it in this place.
Okay.
Also, this is legal. You have a license to sell that, but there is a black market that you don't need a license if you buy a lot of things. We have something.
And is there a limit to what can be privately owned?
One of the big fights that we have right now in terms of what kind of businesses we can have is architecture, actually. So architects in Cuba can only work for the state. And it's actually pretty unfair because the pay is awful when you work for the state. And also because they never give them projects, like real projects. For example, these new awful hotels that you can see around Havana, they are not designed by Cuban architects, you know? They contract foreign architects and they do whatever they want in our city, while Cuban architects are like, okay, why don't you pay us to do this, you know? And they cannot own their own work. They cannot work privately. And well, for example, if you open a shop and I don't know, you want to open a second shop, that might be a problem. You know, like you cannot own a huge business or something like that.
Okay. Yeah, sure.
So most people, for example, they find like tricks. You know, like for example, I opened this restaurant, right? And I want to open the second one, so the second one is going to be on papers with another name, you know, like my cousin or something like that. And that's the way you grow. Every time something is wrong in Cuba, the government just says that it's because of American blockade. Every year they publish how many of their money, of the government money they spend in everything. And that year that we didn't have any medicine and that people were dying because of COVID, they spent like 50% of their budget in hotels, building hotels. While in medicine, while they were producing a vaccine, than 1%, you know? So how can you say, I mean, the blockade is real. That's not bullshit. The blockade is real. I'm sorry for the word. But how can you say that you don't have money to buy the medicine for the people and the people is dying while you are building hotels, you know? So people got angry and they made a huge riot all over the country, and because of that riot, right now there's a lot of political prisoners in Cuba, and we have a very tense situation going on since that moment, you know? Things are going slowly better, but that was a very, very difficult moment and different. I have never seen something like that. But you can find people that have thoughts that maybe might be far right, you know, but you can find people that still believe in socialism, and you can find people that is in between, you know. Like for example, I consider myself not a socialist, but let's say progressive, right? I'm kind of a progressive, and I still don't support the government because I don't think that is progressive or socialist or anything, you know, because at this moment it feels like capitalism, but the monopoly is the government.
Yeah.
You know?
It belongs to the Communist Party. For
Yeah.
example, we choose. I live in a neighborhood. I can choose the president of the neighborhood. And
Yeah.
then the neighborhood, sorry, they choose the president of the municipality. And then the different municipalities we have in Havana, like 15, they choose the president of the province. Like
Okay.
in Havana province. And then we have 14 provinces, and those people they can choose the president, join to the National Assembly.
Ah, okay.
Also belong to the Communist Party.
Okay, so you don't have like public voting system?
No.
No, okay. Mhm.
So all the different presidents of the province, they belong to the Communist Party. So at the end of the day, the president is going to be,
Of course.
of course, the Socialist Party.
How much is a house?
A house in a new town that is we are going to visit at the end. It's the most expensive area. It's one house with one bedroom, 20,000 euros. The same house, for example, away from the city, like 1 hour from the city, is 5,000.
Okay. Okay, and what is the salary?
In Cuba,
Yeah,
salary,
yeah.
if you work for the government, your salary is going to be 3,000 CUP.
Uh-huh.
That is like 30 euros.
30 euros.
Yeah, the highest salary is 8,000. That is for doctors. Doctors earn like 80 euros per month.
Uh-huh.
And it's not enough, of course.
Uh-huh.
That's not a salary.
So
But,
people have more jobs than just one, right?
Yeah. People do. For example, my mom, she's engineer and she works in a cafeteria, and also she sells wine with me. And,
Uh-huh.
But in Cuba, there are a lot of things that are not expensive, as in Europe, for example. But it's not still enough.
Yeah, because we rented a car, and this was another story to rent a car, but
What rent to car?
it was expensive. It was like crazy expensive. But the fuel is really, for us, it's really cheap. It's a lot cheaper than in Europe
Yeah.
and in Poland.
Yeah.
But I mean, now there is a lot of inflation.
Yeah. Oh yes.
For example, one bottle of rum is like 700 CUP, like $7. It's not that much, but if you compare with the salary of someone, for example, like you earn like 3,000 CUP and the bottle of rum is 700, it's kind of complicated. No? Because I don't think there is a completely different price between the government and the black market.
Yeah.
So for example, if you are a doctor and you earn like 8,000 CUP, it's not enough for you and you have to work a lot. So most of the Cuban doctors, they go outside, they work like 4 years and they come back.
Okay.
We call it the Cuban missions. And this is governmental missions. They send people, for example, to Africa, to Latin America. The government of those places, they pay to Cuba, like, I don't know, $2,000 per doctor. And they earn like $800.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, nice.
I mean, it's better than, I don't know, 80 euros per month.
Yeah, well, of course.
Most of the Cuban doctors, they go, they come back, they buy a house, they buy a car, they rent it.
So you say the doctors are the most well paid?
The highest salary.
And
if you are a specialist, if you are a normal doctor, or a general doctor, it's like 5,000.
Okay. And politicians?
Eh?
We don't know.
Who knows?
Who knows?
If you're going to Cuba 10 years ago, 1 hour in the Wi-Fi spot was $450.
$450.
$450. For
1
you.
hour for what? Okay.
Yeah, for you and for me. 2 hours, 9 cook. In those times, the salary of a teacher was like that. Thank you.
Okay.
It was really expensive for
Yeah.
Cuban people. Right now, it's 1 hour, 1 cook. So it's getting better.
Yeah.
We're still late in the communications, but we're doing our best, I think. And also, we have now internet in the phones.
Yeah.
And we have internet in the house. It's a
Yeah.
choice that you can have. And also the Wi-Fi. You know what happened in July 11th of the last year?
Yeah, she told us that there was a strike.
Right. So the government forbid internet 1 week. They
Okay.
stop internet 1 week. Because we only have one company, it's a monopoly. So
Yeah.
you have a way to.
And were there riots?
People, a lot of people. I didn't go because I was in another place, and I remember I saw the news, like the day the day after that. There are a lot of people in jail. they can control they control Facebook, also some Instagram.
Okay.
But they cannot control YouTube.
Are there only like public government newspapers, or are there private newspapers as well?
Only. No, we have some private newspapers, but they are not in Cuba. They are Cubans, but they are not in Cuba. They are in Miami. So really in Cuba, it's not allowed.
Okay. And is it easy now for Cuban people to go to United States?
Complicated.
Complicated.
You can go if you have a family. A special visa for. I don't know if you are an artist or filmmaker. Then you can go to a special visa.
Okay.
But, not for tourism. I mean, it's complicated to get a visa for you.
Oh, okay.
And then now we have to go to, for example, to Guyana or to Panama to get the visa because the embassy is closing the Donald Trump.
Oh, okay. And Biden didn't open it again? Joe Biden didn't open.
He's just trying to open it again.
Ah, okay.
But you know, a lot of people are going to US but through Mexico.
Okay.
I think that every history has two parts. So they show in the books only one part.
Yeah.
When you know that now you have internet, we have connection with the world, or we can see another thing. So
Yeah.
Even Che Guevara or something. It's complicated. I think they were really brave. It was another time, of course. For example, my grandma, she's black. She couldn't study before Batista. She only get to the secondary school.
Okay.
So after the revolution time, she could go to the college. And my mom. So that's why they appreciate that so much. And Fidel Castro gave the houses to the people. So in that time was a really nice thing. But then they made a lot of mistakes, of course.
Okay.
And yeah, you know, people changing, generation changing. I think my generation is really disappointing.
Okay.
People from 90s, it's really disappointing, and a lot of people immigrate because of that.
Okay.
But I think my grandma, she still believes a lot of Fidel Castro, even when she's also disappointed. But I understand her.
Okay. My na dzisiaj kończymy zwiedzanie. Było zdecydowanie długie, ale warte. Zapraszamy Was bardzo serdecznie. Jak będziecie w Hawanie, polecamy Wam usługi Havana Free Tours, bo naprawdę są mega.
Mają świetnych przewodników, naprawdę, rewelacyjni są.
Tak, wycieczki są, tak jak słyszeliście, po angielsku, ale też mogą być po hiszpańsku. No i z zasady są one za darmo, oczywiście warto dać jakiś napiwek.
To są to łaska po prostu.
Zdecydowanie. Natomiast my kończymy dzisiejszy dzień w chyba najbardziej kultowym miejscu w całej Hawanie, jednym z dwóch takich najbardziej kultowych miejsc, czyli w barze Floridita. I do zobaczenia w następnym odcinku.